more member, but we wanted to go live so that people didn't think that we weren't here. So we are here. I am going to ask that if you are not speaking at the moment, to please put your microphone on mute. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, there's Barbara. Okay, so we're all set now. Thank you, everyone. Um, David is not going to be able to be with us this evening. He has an issue at work, and they're trying to resolve, and he's been working on it. He said since I think he said Saturday. Anyway, so we are without David this evening. So I will call the meeting to order and call the roll. And I'll just call it as I see people on my screen. Jim Martin.
Present.
Thank you. Shelley Bancroft.
Present.
Cynthia Tolles. I'm sorry, Cynthia. Cynthia Cruzen. I'm sorry.
Present.
Thank you. I know someone with that name. That's why I said that. Sorry about that. Barbara.
She's on mute.
I'd see. Well, yeah, she's on mute. But okay.
Maybe she can.
Yeah. Joan, are you here?
Present.
Okay. Can you turn your camera on? Cynthia doesn't have a camera. Joan, can you turn your camera on? Thank you. Yeah. Barbara, are you able to turn your camera on or no? Guess not. And Krista?
I'm here. No camera.
Okay. Yes, no camera, right. All righty. Well, thank you everyone for being on time. I'm gonna ask that if you are not speaking at the moment, to please put yourself on mute. Please mute your microphone. That's what I'll say. It looks like we don't have any staff support here tonight at all. So I know that Hillary's on vacation, Ashley's on vacation.
Sorry, Rosalind is in the attendee list. Rosalind, you have to accept the prompt I'm sending to your screen to come on as a panelist, and then you can turn your audio and video on.
Okay, good. Thank you. Jim, can you mute your microphone, please?
Sure.
Thank you. All right. So I'm gonna ask that if you are not speaking, that you please keep your microphone on mute until you've been acknowledged to speak. And if someone else is speaking, please don't turn on your microphone to speak. So if someone else is speaking, I will turn my microphone off. And so I'm going to ask that everyone do the same thing. Okay. And do not turn your microphone on until you've been acknowledged to speak. We do not have minutes for the July 28th June 28th. It says July, but for the June 28th meeting, because we did not take action. So, and that's not why we don't have minutes. We don't have minutes, but we did not take any action, but we will make sure that at our next meeting, that we will have minutes for review and acceptance. And so, if it's okay with everyone, let's just move straight to the proposals that we have. And the first one is the Jazz and Roots Festival, and they have asked us for $9,400 in artist fees, $1,000 in sound expenses, and $1,550 for cleaning, rent and cleaning, but we can't pay for rent and cleaning. So the request is for $10,400 from the Jazz and Roots Festival, and we just want to decide if we want to have them come and make a presentation.
They didn't submit an application?
They submitted a flyer, a handout that
Okay, well,
tells
that
you
doesn't-
exactly what's happening.
That doesn't
Those are-
count. So they need to fill out the application form, which we've talked about many times. That's the best way for us to.
Okay, so you're saying no, that we're not gonna hear you.
Well, I think that the people need to understand that the
Okay,
process
okay,
is really
thank you.
simple, and all you have to do is fill out a form, and if they don't do it, then we should not be looking
Okay.
at their proposal.
All right, so is there a motion to have them make a presentation? Joan,
Two things, sorry. I feel like we skipped over the approval of the agenda part.
that's right.
the
Oh, I'm
approval of
sorry,
the
I'm
agenda.
sorry.
I'm sorry
I'm
too.
sorry.
And then two, I'm okay with, after we do that, hearing the proposal with the condition that they do complete the application form as
Okay.
required.
All right, so I'm sorry, I'm looking at the agenda in very small print, so, okay. I just made it 100%, so now I can see it. So I will ask for an approval of the agenda.
I move that we approve the agenda.
Thank you. Is there a second?
I'll second it. It's Krista.
Thank you, Krista. All in favor of approving the agenda? Say aye.
Aye.
Everybody come, all right, everybody come off mute.
Aye. Aye.
Are there any no's? Okay,
No,
no, you don't want to approve the agenda, Jim?
no.
Okay.
You have
So I
on
guess
the
we need to do a roll
agenda.
call. Hang on. I guess we need to do a roll call. Are you asking to explain your vote?
Yes.
Okay, go right ahead.
We have a procedure. People who apply for money need to fill out an application.
We're
wait.
talking about the agenda, Jim.
If you're going to interrupt, Madam Chair, you're out of order. When I'm speaking, you do not interrupt, and you know that. And I'll be courteous to you, and you can correct me when I'm wrong. Please. I just want to finish. We have a process, and it was not followed. I'm not going to hold up a whole, effort for this. However, you indicated that there was some attachment that had this breakdown of the money they're specifically asking for. It was not in either of the three emails I received with links to our folder, and it was not in the folder. So apparently it was some document that doesn't read in either Google or PDF. I don't know what the problem was, but I did not receive it, and apparently others have not received it. And my question is, and I will stop. Before we proceed, I would again like that breakdown of what they want money for repeated, and then I want to comment on that after that. I mean, after other discussion. Thank you.
Well, I'm not sure, where are we now? Jim, I understand, I agree with you completely, but I thought that we were back to procedures with Joan again before we did this. Or are we at that? We're talking about procedures.
Just hang on. We were voting. We were
Uh-huh.
taking the vote to approve the agenda is what we
Yeah,
were doing.
That's
So I
right.
need to do a roll call to approve the agenda. Jim
Well-
voted no, so I'm doing a roll call to approve the agenda. Joan,
Aye.
Jim. You're on
No.
mute. Okay. Shelley,
No,
okay. Barbara,
Aye.
Krista,
Aye.
Cynthia.
With a comment, I don't understand how an item got on the agenda which had not filled out an application.
They have filled out an
Also,
application.
no, let me finish, please. And their event is this Saturday, August 3rd.
Okay, I'm sorry. Can we please approve the agenda or not? So your vote is no. So we have 3 no's and 1, 2, 3, 4 yeses. Okay,
No, well,
so
where's the fourth yes?
mine.
No, 1, 2.
Oh, I'm sorry. 1, 2.
So if there's a
I'm sorry.
tie,
1, 2, 3. It's 3 and 3. I'm sorry.
so
3
when
and
there's
3.
a tie, then it goes away. It doesn't work. It's
So we
not.
don't have an agenda. Okay.
That's
Good
right.
night, everyone. Thank you all for
Good
have a
night.
lovely evening. And we'll see you all in September because that's the next time we're meeting.
Madam
Thank
Chair,
you.
that's not
All
the
right.
responsible way to handle
Well,
it.
I don't understand. We don't have an agenda.
I would like to modify the agenda and delete one item on the agenda.
Okay. All right. So
Then we
let's
would have an
modify.
agenda.
Okay. Then
And
you
the
could have said that
modification,
initially.
the
You
modification
would
would
like to
be
modify the agenda.
to delete item A,
Okay.
subtitle A under 4 grant proposals.
So it is item 4A under grant proposals.
Yes.
We are going to,
And I do this with great regret because I really like what they want to do. And I
okay,
want to
it's my
support-
fault because I did not put the application in the folder. The application is, they did submit the application. I just did not put it in the folder because I saw the other document. So it is my fault.
Madam Chair,
Yes,
this
Krista.
is Krista. Could I interject, if it's permitted?
Yes.
Hey, everybody, look, I don't know if I want to go on the record with this, but August 3rd is my birthday. And I think it's wonderful that they have a program. They're active in the community. I think I don't want to speak for everybody, but I think most everybody on our commission recognizes the value of what they bring. And if it's an error on our part, meaning an administrative error, just an oversight administratively, and they actually did submit the form, and we know the amount of money, can we, on good faith, and I think someone else may have been, excuse me, alluding to this, can we, on good faith, make some decisions tonight to support them with the idea that they will submit the application in a timely manner, or if it's on our error, that we will resubmit to our commissioners. I don't know what to do in this case. I don't know what is appropriate, but I do in good faith. I mean, we're here to support our musicians and our artists of our community. This is something that they did fill out in advance, and it just administratively did not go on. And, you know, we all make mistakes. We all, you know, it's a busy world we're living in, and occasionally these types of oversights are going to happen. So I'm not saying that we all have to vote for this, right? Everybody has their own vote and their own say. But I would like to say yes for the agenda, with the caveat that for this particular one, since it's on us that we didn't add it, you know, add the application in, that we still try to consider it and see if we might be able to support them in some way. And that's all I have to say. Would anyone else like to comment on that subject?
Shelley, you're not on.
They're asking for $10,400 out of an $11,000 budget. Is that correct? From us, $10,400?
I believe so, but that
Shelley.
doesn't always mean that we have to.
We are still
okay
working
it,
on the
right?
agenda. Please, Joan, please. I'm calling on you, Joan. If you are not
Thank
speaking,
you.
please put yourself on mute.
So, thank you. We're still on the agenda. Given the fact that we are looking with our eyes, the application, I don't know if it's a movement, I move that we keep the agenda as is and approve the agenda as it was and entertain this application when the time comes. When the time comes, not right now, but later down the agenda.
Okay, so now we have we have another motion to approve the agenda as is. I mean, I'm not even sure if we can consider the question again. since we voted it down the first time, but Barbara and then Jim.
Thank you, Lynn. I second Joan's motion.
Thank you. Jim,
The problem I'm having is put the screen thing on, but I can't see the whole document. I can only see a top part of the first page. And I'm using a state-of-the-art Google system. I don't know what the problem is.
well, Jim, you can't see the whole document because the whole document is not on the screen. That's
Well,
why
we
you
have-
can't see
Well,
the
we have
whole
to be able to
document.
see the whole document.
Okay,
But I can't see the most
excuse
important
me,
page.
excuse me. We are voting on the agenda. Please, can we have this vote on the agenda? So I am going to call for the question. All those in favor of of the agenda as it is written, please say aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Aye.
All those opposed. All of those opposed.
I'm opposed. But
Okay.
Lynn, could you remove this thing from the screen? It's blocking the process here.
Jim, if you don't stop, please, you are so, I don't know what you mean by remove what from the screen, Jim.
You have the City of Annapolis application, work of arts performing, but you only have the top half.
There's the
first
whole
page.
application. There's the whole page. There's the whole page, Jim. There's the whole page.
Well, not the second page.
Okay, well, I'll scroll down so you can see the second page. There's the second page. Okay.
Well,
All right. So I'm calling for the question. What are you gonna say, Jim? Go ahead.
I would like to see page 2.
I just scrolled down so you could see page 2.
Yeah, but
There's
then you
page 2.
flashed- and then you flashed off of it. So they're
No,
asking for $9,400.
Yes.
I thought you said 10,400.
Well, it looked like they were asking for 10,000, but the application says 9,400.
Okay.
Okay.
And do we have a breakdown?
Yes.
Can you repeat that breakdown?
It's in the
Slowly.
folder.
You can say it to it.
Okay,
so I
Jim,
can
I'm
hear it,
sorry.
And then
Let
I'll
me
be ready to vote for the agenda and do what you
Wait,
want.
can we vote for the agenda before we look at the proposal?
I can't vote if I can't see or hear the information.
What information what
I want
information
to know what we're spending our money on. If it's
We're not voting on that, Jim. We're just voting on whether we're going to discuss it or not.
okay. Try to get the breakdown on the
This is-
screen.
I
This is
will when it's
Krista,
time.
Jim.
When it's time
If
for
we
that,
could-
I will. I only put
If we
this
could
up.
just vote on my thoughts is, if we could just vote on the agenda, then we can start going through the agenda. And when it comes to this one, whether that's in the beginning or the later part, what have you, we can say at this time, we'd like to, whatever is on your heart with regards to what you want to do about it. But this way, if we approve the agenda, we can at least go item to item is what Lynn is trying to say, and we
Okay.
can have the meeting. If we don't approve the agenda, which that's an option, but if we don't approve the agenda, then we can't have the meeting at all. So anything
That's
on the
right.
agenda is going to have to be tabled to the next meeting. But
Ex-
that doesn't mean that if you approve the agenda, that we are approving any monies at this time. As you know, we have to go through each item. Okay?
Thank you. Thank you, Krista. Barbara, Cynthia, and then, oh no, wait, Raj, you had your hand up before. So Raj, then Barbara, then Cynthia. We're just voting on approving the agenda for this evening. And I'm going to call for the question. Go ahead, Roz.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you, Madam Chair. Excuse me, as a director of recreation and parks, I do want to just advise that it's taxpayer dollars. So I'm hopeful, as Chris has said, that personalities or lack of someone doing something isn't prohibiting someone from being heard. You know, mistakes do happen, yes, but I don't think we should penalize the nonprofit or the arts organization. So I'll just say that if we could look at the whole picture and then perhaps have the discussion later on about how much and all those other things. Thank you.
Thank you. Barbara, did we lose you? Go ahead. It looks like we lost Barbara. Oh, Barbara, go ahead.
I'm back. Sorry,
Okay.
I'm having
That's okay.
Wi-Fi issues.
That's okay. Go ahead. You had something. You had your hand up. No.
Oh, no, I was just voting,
Okay.
you know,
Okay.
I was supporting the past one. Now I'm just confused where we are in the
Right.
process.
So, okay. So now we do have a motion on the floor. It has been moved and properly seconded to approve the agenda as it is written. I started the roll call. And I don't even, and Jim voted no.
Aye.
Cynthia,
I still have a question. On that
Go ahead.
application, there may be an error, but the dates for that
Cynthia,
application
we are
are
not
in
discussing
November.
the application. Please, can we just vote to have the agenda, to have the meeting?
Well, I'm
It is-
pointing out there may be an error in the
It
paperwork
doesn't
because
matter.
the
It doesn't matter.
dates-
We'll discuss it when we come to it on the agenda. That's the time to discuss that. Right now, we are discussing the agenda. When we get to that
Madam Chair,
item on the agenda, we will
Madam
discuss
Chair,
it. Yes.
are you sure that is the right application? I'm
I am
saying.
absolutely positive.
Look
And
at the dates.
when we get to the item, we
Just pointing
will
out there may be an
discuss it.
error here because
Thank
the
you.
event is this
Are you-
Saturday, August 3rd.
The event is not this Saturday. The event is in November or whenever. Please, let's vote on the agenda. When we get to the item, we can go through all of the details so everyone is clear. Please. Okay, so Cynthia, are you voting yes or no for the agenda?
Yes.
Thank you. Shelley,
Fine.
what is that?
Yes, with
Thank
Jim.
you.
If Jim says yes, I'll vote for it.
Don't do that.
Jim
I,
doesn't say your vote is yes or no.
yes, stay with the agenda.
Okay. Joan,
Yes.
Barbara,
Yes.
Krissa,
Yes.
and myself. Okay. So the motion carries and we will continue with the agenda. Thank you. Okay. All right. So the next item on the agenda is item number 4. Well, item number 3 was, which is the approval of the minutes, but we discussed that already, and we do not have minutes this evening, but we will approve them at our next meeting. Item number 4, the grant proposal initial review. So this is just deciding if we want to invite a group to come and make a presentation. We are not deciding how much money we're giving them tonight. We're just deciding if we want to hear from them based on what they have given us thus far. So I will try to add to the folder so that everybody can see it. Let me go back. Let me try to add this document to them. Let me see if I can do that. I'm adding it to the folder now so that everyone can see it. It's in there. Pardon my dog, I'm sorry. Marley. Okay, all right. So application is in the folder. The application was submitted in April, but we had already awarded them money for for that fiscal year, for last fiscal year. So I told them that we would not consider the application until the new fiscal year, which we are currently in, started July 1. So they submitted the application in April. We have already given them money for the event that they're having this year in the fall. This is, or whenever the event is. This application is for next year. So let me look at the dates. Hang on a second. So yes, the dates of these events are November 2nd and November 3rd and November 10th, 2024. 2025. Or 2024, I'm sorry, 2024. Because we gave them their money last year. They submitted the application in April. Anyway.
We got it. We got it.
Okay. So I would entertain a motion to have them make a presentation at our next meeting, which will be in September. Is there a motion?
Can we have discussion? Just a brief
No, we need a
discussion.
motion first. We need a motion first.
Well, I will move that we include them on the program for the next meeting.
Is there a second?
I second, Lynn.
Thank you. Okay, now we can have discussion. Go ahead, Jim.
This brings to mind the concern that I have about these groups coming in for huge amounts of money. I mean, large amounts of money, year after year after year. At the same time, they're out there doing fundraising. And what we have to be really clear about is that no dollars can be spent on ticketed events where they're receiving funds for the tickets. And secondly, I don't really feel that we should be supporting sound equipment and any of that sort of thing. All we should be supporting is the artist fee alone. And I think that we have to stop this, subsidizing various groups who come to us and ask us for thousands of dollars, and yet they are charging their vendors money, or they're charging people money for other events to carry them over for something else. I feel that what we really need to make clear is that we will fund a artist performance on a non-ticketed event, a free event, period. And not all the technical costs, not the ticket or not the door fee or whatever, not the rent or anything else. I just feel that we've gotten so far afield of what our mission should be, is to support artists and not all this bureaucracy that they want to layer into it. That's my big concern. Otherwise, I think they're a wonderful group, and I think I'm going to their event on Saturday and paying for the ticket, and I'm happy to do that. But I really feel that, we have to draw the line, and we really need to make that more clear in our application or on our website or when we talk to them on the phone, that we have a list of things that they need to be clear what we will pay for and what we won't pay for. And this is for performing artists. Thank you.
Thank you, Jim. Shelley.
Am I on?
Yes.
The other thing that I agree with Jim and what he is saying, but I also feel like I don't know from an outside perspective. I haven't seen them. If we're talking about Jazz and Roots, right? I haven't seen them. I haven't heard them. There's no narrative in their application, so I wouldn't know as a grantee, what they do. I mean, what their emphasis is. Like, why would I have an interest when I don't know what they sound like? Now, I could go out and like find that on my own, but that's the purpose of an application. You're supposed to be able to describe what you're doing in words when you submit something. And they did not do that. I mean, none of them have, actually, any of the ones that have been put forward tonight.
This is Krista.
Okay,
Since
so it
this
has been
been
moved.
tabled,
Oh,
can
I'm
I-
sorry, Barbara, go ahead.
Yes, thank you. Actually, the Annapolis Jazz and Roots Festival, we did get a one pager that was sent to us that has the total AIPPC artist fees, which is $9,400, and then they have sound expense and rent and whatnot. But in terms of what Jim was saying earlier, when we want to think about supporting the artists and paying for those fees, they have basically said up front, this is what they need for artistic fees. Now, whether we will get to the amount at that time, I think we should invite them to come and speak, predicated on the fact that if they come, when they come, they should have the application to us before that meeting. That's my 2 cents.
Thank you, Barbara. Okay, it has been moved and properly seconded to have,
this is Krista.
Yes,
Can
Krista.
I add a comment just real
Sure.
quickly to both Jim and also Barbara's comment? For an artist to perform, an artist is going to need probably certain equipment, accompaniment, a soundboard, depending on what type of music it's going to be. So I personally do not have any problem if there's a sound person that needs to be paid and those fees. But again, as Lynn was stating, we're going to talk about this at the next meeting, so we can talk to them at that time to see what it is they're going to need, and hopefully they'll have the itemized list of everything and a good summary. That's all I have to say.
Thank you. Okay, it has been moved and properly seconded to have the Jazz and Roots Festival organizers come to our meeting in September to make a presentation to request funding. I am going to do a roll call. Jim,
Aye.
Shelley,
No,
okay, Joan. If you're
Aye.
not speaking, please put yourself on mute.
Yes.
Yes, okay, thank you, Joan. Barbara,
Yes, aye.
Cynthia,
Yes.
Krissa,
Yes.
Lynn, yes. Okay, the motion carries. We will invite the Jazz and Roots Festival organizers to come to our meeting in September to make a presentation. I did put the application in the Google folder. So it is there now. I will move that folder to our September meeting materials when the time comes. Okay. The next group is the Old Fourth Ward Unity Day. The application is in the folder. I will entertain a motion as to whether or not we want to have them come and make a presentation. Is there a motion?
Hi, Lynn, it's Barbara.
Yeah,
I'd like,
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'd like to move that we ask the Old Fourth Ward to present next month.
Thank you.
I
Joe.
second that.
Oh, okay, Chris. Okay, all righty. Joan, okay, are there any questions? Is there any discussion?
yes, please. I couldn't read the application because it was photocopied and I could not see it. I finally made out that they wanted 8,500 again, like on a $12,000 budget, which is like ridiculous. But I think the next time, again, we need to have the application like filled out properly. I could not read it. It was taken with a phone. and it was blurry.
Thank you. Okay, are there any other, Joan, do you have a question? You have your hand up.
Just that we will have the next month or so to read it and review it and ask for more clear details, because we're just voting on if they're going to present next month.
That's correct. Jim, do you have a comment?
Well, this is also a critique of our application. We don't ask for a breakdown of what exactly we're giving them money for. And I understand Chris's point. I just I need to get my head around how we manage that, because I think an artist should have their instrument. And certainly we're in an electronic age, so they have to have electronic things, and amplification is part of that. So we need to talk about that a little bit, and I'm not going to obstruct that. I just feel that we need to think about it. And also, here's another same group that was here last year, asking for roughly the same amount of money. You know, the problem with grants is it becomes addicting. And I'm not criticizing these people for asking, but I think we have to have some better way of encouraging them to develop their independence, that they don't depend on this handout from the city. Our mission should be to help this group, by the way, because they're still in their infancy, and really help them for a period of time, probably at least 2, 3, maybe 4 years. So I just want us to be aware that there should be a point where we say, you've got to wing it on your own and make some money from somewhere else for a short period of time, maybe skip a year or something, because they really need to do that. Otherwise,
you,
they
Jim.
become dependents. And I'm done. Thank you.
Thank you. Shelley, you have your hand up.
Yeah.
And if you're not speaking, please put yourself on mute, please.
I think we talked about this too at another meeting, where it would be nice to see some kind of evolution of thought about their programming. And I mean, that people should not just be coming to us for money randomly. I mean, it kind of seems that way year after year without, like I said before, like an explanation of what they're doing and what they really want the money for, like an actual description of what they're doing, and what, if anything, has changed, what has evolved since the last time we gave them money, and why should we give you more money than you asked for last year if you haven't done something interesting to contribute.
Thank you, Shelley. Barbara.
Yes, just to clarify for everybody listening, we've given money grants to these groups, such as the Old Fourth Ward, because these are historically under serviced communities, and this is part of Annapolis's history. It's not kind of like welfare aid on the artistic side. It's support of our community, of our history, and we should remember that. And in some cases, they have tried other venues and they haven't had much luck, and we have been their primary in the past. It's not to say that we will always support them at the same levels, but I will always stand up for our community and our history, and I don't think it's being properly discussed right now, and I think we should wait and have them present next month. Thank you.
I mean, can I please just add something quickly?
No, I'm sorry. Hang on, Shelley. Hang on, please. Okay. Go ahead.
Of course, they're part of the community. It would be nice to know who they have talked to, Barbara. It would be really nice to, that's like kind of the discussion that we're trying to have. That's what's missing in the application. Who are they reaching out to? And they should be expanding their base in terms of funding. We should not be the people that would, like, the majority of their budget they want from us. That does not happen in grant writing.
Thank you, Barbara.
I'm just vocalizing my support. I'm not getting an argument with Shelley. I want them to come and speak for themselves. We've heard them in the past, and all I'm saying is I support them coming back.
Thank you. And we obviously,
This is Krista. Can I
Go
add
ahead,
a
Krista.
comment?
Yes, go ahead, Krista.
I 100% support Barbara on this. I do hear that other people want more details in the application, and I think that's certainly a good point. And we perhaps need to work on our applications to make sure that we are asking for the right information. But it is our mission to support the community events. And when there are community events that people actually look forward to within their wards, each one of us represents a ward, right? And, when these communities have someone that are putting forth an event, and if it's an event that is an annual event or biannual, if it's something that the community really wants and they really look forward to it, and they are underserved in whatever capacity that means, then I feel that it's our responsibility actually to jump in and to help where we can. Now, just a reminder to everybody that just because somebody asks for $30,000 or $10,000 or $5,000 does not mean that we have to say okay to that amount, whatever the amount is. That's why we have the discussion. So to Barbara's point about tabling this for another time where we can talk, but I'm really kind of embarrassed with the tone here tonight with regards to what it is our mission is, and that we're here to really support everyone. And these are the proposals that we have right now. We don't have 15 other proposals that are on the table right now for us. We're dealing with what we have right now. We are voting on what we're going to look at for September, and that's it. It's not like we have 10 of them right now. We have just these right now for tonight. So again, to Barbara's point, I just want to stress that I'm here to support the artists and to support the community and for what the people want as well in the community and the type of events and things that they want forward. So that's my 2 cents.
I'm sorry, Shelley, can you put yourself on mute, please? Have we taken the vote on this? I can't remember. No. Okay. All righty. So let's do the roll call. We are voting.
Madam Chair, I did have my hand up.
Okay, go ahead, Ross.
Hi, sorry about that. I just want to piggyback off of what Barbara and Krista said, because some of these groups are grassroots groups and they don't have fancy schmancy grant writers. They're doing it themselves. They're doing it at their kitchen table. They're using the tools that they have. So sometimes I think we have to give a little bit of grace and try to remove some of the barriers or overlook some of the barriers. I'm not saying they don't have to fill out an application, but I would hope that the commission would take some of these factors into consideration when deciding on whether or not we're inviting them back or whether we're funding them, because they're a small group of dedicated people who are trying to put on this event for their community. So I hope we just keep.
Okay, thank you, Roz. Okay, I'm going to call for the question. I'm going to call for a motion. We have a motion. We have a motion. I just need to do the roll call. Jim.
Aye.
Okay. Shelley.
Shelley, you're on mute. I know.
Aye.
Thank you. And once you're not talking, please put yourself on mute. Joan.
Aye.
Barbara.
Aye.
Cynthia.
Aye.
Kristen.
Aye.
The ayes have it. Thank you. I will reach out to the organizers of the 4th Ward Unity Day and invite them to make a presentation at our September meeting. The final one is the Chesapeake Children's Museum proposal, and that is in the folder. And I will entertain a motion as to whether or not we want to have them come and make a presentation at our September meeting.
So move.
Is there a second?
I second.
Thank you, Barbara. Okay, we'll do the roll call. Jim,
Aye.
Shelley. You're on mute.
I,
Joan,
Aye.
Barbara,
Aye.
Cynthia,
I,
Krista.
Aye.
Thank you. And I vote aye as well. Ayes have it. Okay, sorry, item number 6 is, I think, a mistake. Yeah, that's a mistake. Yes, Shelley.
weren't we supposed to talk about procedures? Did we
Shelley,
actually go through, or did we actually end up doing that? But I thought there was just like a separate. Jim, was you, did we?
May I speak?
Yes, please.
With the
excuse
chair-
me, Shelley.
I'm sorry.
Shelley.
Sorry.
Okay, so hang on. I'm sorry. What is your question?
Well, I thought there was something on the agenda. I don't have it right in front of me. That
It
was-
is the review and approval of the FY25 grant review
Yeah.
and schedule and award schedule.
Yeah.
But I haven't had time to work on it, so I don't have anything to present for it. And I don't think it's a good use of our time to try and discuss something without anything in writing. So I'll ask you to table that until September. Jim, yes.
No, I just thought she wanted to talk about this process that we just went through. I think that's something that we need to, abate at this time. And maybe during August, we don't have a meeting, but maybe a couple of the board members could get together and discuss the strategy of this, because I really like to hear the comment that Chris had made and that Barbara made, and it made it more clear to me and also Rosalind, their perspective about it. So I think we do need to discuss this though, and I do have other concerns, but I think we should move on to the next, to the committee reports. Thank you, Madam
Thank
Chair.
you. Thank you.
Lynn,
Alrighty,
do we, this is Krista, do we need to have to do a vote to table it? Or can we just,
No,
the
we
chair
can
just
just
table it?
we can just table it. We can just table it and move it to next month. Yes,
Okay, is
Barbara.
that official?
Um,
Okay.
Yeah,
No,
that's
I was-
official.
Oh,
don't
okay.
need
I
to-
was under the
no.
impression that there had to be a
No,
motion.
we don't need
Okay.
to vote. We don't need
Okay.
to vote. We're just
Yeah,
now
I
preparing.
actually think there needs to be a motion, so I'm gonna make a motion to table it.
Okay.
Barbara,
I second it. No, Lynn, I think according to the rules, you do have to make an official
Okay,
motion.
all right. It's been moved and properly seconded to table item number 5 until our next meeting. I'll do a roll call. Jim,
But I think as a point of order, we should be doing this at the time it comes up on the agenda, not now. But I'll go along with Chris's motion. Yes.
Shelley,
Yes.
Joe,
Aye.
Barbara,
Aye.
Cynthia, Krista.
aye.
Okay, thank you. The ayes have it. Okay, so we can now move to item number 6, which is reports from committees. Barbara, you have a report for us.
Yes, thank you, Lynn. I'm
You're welcome.
reporting out for the Fine Arts Committee. The first part, the subcommittee on the Poet Laureate, I'm happy to announce that it closed last Friday. And Cynthia, myself, and Gwen are currently looking over the applicants independently. And from there, we are going to gather together and then call the applicants for the finalists. And we will then interview them next month in August. And in our September meeting, we will present to the commission the recommendation for the next Poet Laureate for the mayor's approval. So that's going right on schedule. Next up, updates on the exhibits. For the summer show at the City Hall from July 1st through August 30th, we have artist Stephanie Smith Dara Taylor and Nikki Kennedy. I'm not sure if people attended the July 8th reception from 5 to 6:30. The gallery hours there are Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 4:30. So I encourage everyone to come out and to also post on their social media to help support our artists. And I did not, Lynn, receive anything from Audrey for PIP for August. I don't know if you got anything from her.
I don't recall seeing anything. I thought we had an artist scheduled, but maybe something fell through.
Yeah,
I do
I
not
think
recall
fell through.
seeing, but if there is something, I will post it on our Facebook page and Instagram.
Great.
So, okay.
Thank you.
Alrighty, thank you. Alrighty. The next is the murals committee. Jim, you saw my email today to finance, asking them about the purchase order for Mr. White. And I have not gotten a response yet. So,
And I'm not jumping in your case, Lynn, but it seems like it takes forever to get money that's on deposit in our account. And I know they don't have a separate pot for us, but we have a balance in our account. And this was approved by the commission, I think three months ago or more. So I'm disappointed that it's taken this long. It's embarrassing. And when we have a major artist left holding the bag until we can figure out how to get a payment out to him, seems unfortunate. The good news is it's probably working out for him because he has told me that really hot weather is a problem for him and for his paint and for the work he has to do, because we have to dig a trench and do some other stuff. So I just would like to say that I think we need to expedite the way we get our vendors, our applicants paid. And that's not something, Lynn, you can do by yourself, but we ought to have a discussion about this with finance to make sure that this gets handled more promptly. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
thank you, Jim. Alrighty. Joan, you have a quick update for the grants committee.
Yes, hi, everybody. I have a report on grant progress. I will start by saying I did reach out to Joe Lucchese to try to ascertain some historical information of maybe where you've applied in the past. And he said that the only real, I guess, information he could share was he applied through the city planning office to the Bloomsburg Philanthropies Project on urban sidewalk projects. Other than that, he didn't have too much information to share, so that it's wide open as to that. The Arts Capital Grant fiscal year 2025 is open for application, and I had viewed the information session, and I didn't think we'd really be eligible. And Lynn communicated with Ryan Patterson regarding, if our project, had any shot at this one. And he said that we would be better suited to apply for the Public Art Across Maryland grant than the capital grant, which is kind of what I thought, but it's good to have confirmation on that. So I will be on the lookout for that to open at some point. And I welcome anyone to share any thoughts or suggestions that I could, any avenues that they are aware of that I could pursue.
Joan, hang on just a second, Shelley. So Joan, the Art Around Maryland grant opens on September 3rd.
Okay.
You may have missed that email, but it was from another person at the Arts Council. You were copied on it. I did see that, but
okay.
And they gave the details, and they also put a link in so that you could read about it before it is released.
Thank you. I will do that. I'll make sure I go back and review that.
Okay. The other thing is I asked that in August that you and I work on a description so that we can submit it to the city, so that the city can include the request for the funding for Westgate Circle in their capital grant request to the state.
Okay,
Okay,
Great.
so we will do
Yes,
that.
thank you.
Yes, Shelley.
Okay, so if you're going to start requesting for money for Westgate Circle, you have to have an idea.
No, we don't have to have an idea.
Yes, you do have to have an
We
idea.
don't have to have an idea. We
Then what are
don't.
you then what are you submitting? What are you submitting?
Ladies,
I don't know.
Madam Chair,
Excuse me.
don't interrupt.
I'm talking, Jim. What would you be submitting? What would you be submitting?
We are requesting funding to commission, fabricate, and install a piece of artwork. We don't have to tell them what it is yet. We can't go out and ask people for money when we don't know how much money we have.
You have to know what you're going to do before you ask for money for something.
Okay, Shelley, thank you very much.
No,
Let's
this
move
is
on.
very true.
Let's move on.
You will
let's
not
move-
know. I do not want to move on. This is something that we need to talk about. You cannot submit a grant without an understanding of what you're submitting it for. I'm sorry, but you will not get it. It's vapid and it's a waste of time. We
Thank you.
need to
Thank you,
figure out.
Shelley. Well, then, that if we do not get the grant, we don't get the grant.
Well,
And if
that's
the
not
grantor
a good
tells
idea.
us
That's
that we
a
have to come back
horrible-
with,
That's a horrible response.
it is not a horrible
It's
response.
because this has been sitting there now and it needs to be filled, and this committee needs to take it serious. And we have to decide on an idea. We have to decide on a process. We have to decide on funding. We have to do a lot of things. And it's not about you and Joan getting together to decide about public art. And you're talking about Westgate Circle. What in the world would you be saying? You can't just say you want to put something there.
Shelley, please.
I'm
You are
serious.
out of order.
I am not
you
out
are
of order.
You are
No,
out of order.
Barbara,
Barbara,
you guys
go
don't even
ahead.
know
please.
this. Have you ever
Shelley,
written
please
a
put
grant?
yourself on
Have
mute,
you
or we're
ever
gonna take-
written a
We're
grant
going to
for a
take you
public
out
art?
of the meeting. If you
Have you
continue to be out
ever
of
written a grant?
Shelley,
I'm talking to you.
Shelley,
Please
Have
Shelley,
you
stop,
ever
Shelley.
written a grant for a public art project?
stop.
Please
Anybody?
stop.
Have you ever written a grant for a public art project? Anybody?
Shelley, you are out of order.
No,
have
I am
called
not.
on Barbara.
Answer
You
me,
are
Len.
done. No,
Have
I
you
am not
ever
gonna
written?
answer your question.
Have you ever
I
written a
didn't-
grant for a public art project?
Yes,
When?
thank you. Barbara,
When?
Barbara.
Lynn, yes, thank you, Lynn. Now I totally forgot what I was going to ask. Oh crap! I'm sorry, Lynn. I totally forgot. I'm really upset that this meeting has gone in this fashion. It's so unruly. And really, Shelley, I understand your point, but the way that you're going about
I don't
it,
think you
it's
do
not right.
understand. You
I
don't.
do. And you know, you're Johnny come lately. Don't come on here and start telling people when you don't know what's been going on for the last X number of years.
Yes, I do.
So let's take
Because
it
I've been
offline.
watching all
Take
this.
it
I've been watching
offline.
everything.
Take
I
it
want
off.
you to
Point
know
of
the thing.
order, point of order, point of order. This
Okay.
is ridiculous. I move
It's-
to adjourn this meeting. I'm not going to sit here and have this type of volatile camaraderie
Was this volatile?
or lack of camaraderie with each other. I'm stepping away from this for
Thank
the
you,
evening.
Krista.
Good luck, you guys.
Yeah.
Is there a second to adjourn the meeting?
Second,
Okay, thank you, Joan. The meeting is, we don't need to vote on it.